Brain freeze, the false alarm. When you eat ice cream, the roof of your mouth experiences a massive drop in temperature. Your body sees this as a thermal emergency and rapidly dilates the blood vessels in your head to pump warm blood to the area. This rapid expansion triggers pain receptors. However, because the nerves in your mouth and your forehead are so closely linked, your brain gets the location wrong. It projects the pain onto your forehead in a phenomenon called referred pain. Your mouth is cold, but your forehead pays the price. Eye floaters, the ghosts in your vision. You're looking at a clear blue sky when suddenly, a few transparent worms or cobwebs drift across your field of vision. You try to look directly at them, but they zip away. These aren't organisms or dust on your eye. They are called muscae volatiles. They are actually tiny clumps of collagen or red blood cells drifting in the vitreous humor, the jelly-like substance inside your eyeball. What you're seeing isn't the object itself, but the shadow it casts on your retina. Ear ringing. In a perfectly silent room, you might suddenly hear a high-pitched "tee" that isn't coming from any electronic device. This is tinnitus. When your ears don't receive enough external sound, your brain essentially turns up the gain on its internal microphone to compensate. In doing so, it creates its own feedback loop. It's like a radio station playing static because it can't find a signal. Your brain is literally hallucinating a sound to fill the silence. Ear popping. Whether you're taking off in a plane or driving up a steep mountain, that clogged feeling in your ears is actually a pressure battle. The air pressure behind your eardrum, in the middle ear, becomes different from the atmospheric pressure outside. Your eardrum gets pushed inward or outward, muffled like a drum with a hand on it. When you yawn or swallow, you force the eustachian tubes to open, allowing air to rush in and equalize the pressure. That pop is the sound of your anatomy clicking back into equilibrium. Hiccups. Hiccups are perhaps the most useless glitch we have. It starts with an involuntary spasm of the diaphragm, the muscle that controls your breathing. As the diaphragm snaps downward, it pulls in a sudden gulp of air that is abruptly stopped by the snap of your vocal cords, closing the hic sound. Scientists believe this might be an evolutionary leftover from our distant ancestors who had gills. Eye twitching. That rhythmic, annoying fluttering of your eyelid, officially known as myokymia, is rarely about your eye itself. It's actually a localized nerve spasm. Your nerves are incredibly sensitive to chemical changes in your blood. If you've had too much caffeine, not enough sleep, or you're under heavy stress, your neurons become hyperexcitable. They start firing off tiny electrical pulses without permission from the brain, causing the muscle to dance on its own. Leg cramps. A leg cramp is a violent, involuntary contraction of a muscle that refuses to relax. This usually happens because the off switch in your muscle fibers has malfunctioned. This glitch is often triggered by dehydration or a shortage of electrolytes, like magnesium and potassium, which act as the electrical fluid for your muscles. Without them, the muscle stays on, causing that agonizing, rock-hard sensation. Jaw popping. If your jaw makes a loud click or pop when you open wide for a burger, you're experiencing a mechanical glitch. In the temporomandibular joint, between the bones of your jaw, sits a small, shock-absorbing disc of cartilage. If that disc slips slightly out of place and then snaps back into position as you move, you hear that pop. It's like a drawer that's slightly off its track. It still opens, but it hitches along the way. Motion sickness. Your brain is constantly comparing data from two sources: your inner ears, which feel balance and motion, and your eyes, which see it. When you're in a car looking at a book, your ears feel the 60 miles per hour movement, but your eyes see a stationary page. This sensory mismatch confuses the brain. This sensory mismatch is a massive red flag for your nervous system. Deep in your DNA, your brain has a hard-coded rule. If the eyes and ears don't match, it's a security breach. Historically, this only happened if you'd been poisoned by a toxic plant. To fix the error, your brain launches a full system reboot, triggering nausea to flush your stomach immediately. Teeth chattering, the friction heater. When your core temperature drops, your hypothalamus, the body's thermostat, takes drastic measures. It sends rapid-fire signals to your muscles to contract and relax hundreds of times per minute. This is shivering, Because the jaw muscles are some of the most powerful and fast-twitch muscles in the body, they are often the first to start. The chattering isn't just a sign you're cold. It's a mechanical process of creating heat through friction to keep your brain warm. Goosebumps. They happen when tiny muscles at the base of your hair follicles, called erector pili, contract. This pulls the hair upright and creates that familiar bumpy skin texture. The scientific term is cutis anserina. Sounds fancy, right? Now, why do they happen? Your brain triggers goosebumps through the fight or flight response, releasing adrenaline when you feel cold to trap warm air close to the skin. Fear, to make you look bigger to predators. Or strong emotions, like chills from music, pride, or nostalgia. Goosebumps are also linked to dopamine. That's why a powerful song can give you chills. Not everyone gets this. Only about 55% of people experience frisson. Sneezing fits. Sometimes you don't just sneeze once. You sneeze 5 or 6 times in a rapid-fire explosion. This fit is your body's way of ensuring the job is done. If the first sneeze didn't successfully clear the irritant, like dust or pollen, out of your nasal passage, your brain keeps the fire command active until the sensors in your nose report that the area is clear. It's basically your nose's version of Control plus Alt plus Delete. Numbness. When your foot falls asleep, people often say it's because the blood stopped flowing. That's actually a myth. It's actually because you've put pressure on a nerve, temporarily cutting off its ability to send signals to the brain. When you move and the pressure is released, the nerve starts firing again, but it does so in a chaotic, disorganized way. Your brain interprets this neural noise as the tingling, prickly sensation of pins and needles. It's the sound of your nerves rebooting. Do you sneeze the moment you walk out into bright sunlight? You have the photic sneeze reflex, a genetic glitch affecting about 1 in 4 people. The optic nerve, which senses light, and the trigeminal nerve, which triggers sneezes, run very close to each other in the brain. In sun sneezers, the electrical signal from the bright light leaks over into the sneeze nerve. Your brain literally confuses a bright light with a tickle in the nose. This trait is actually inherited. If one of your parents is a sun sneezer, there's a 50% chance you are too. Scientists even gave it a humorous acronym, ACHO syndrome, autosomal compelling helio-ophthalmic outburst. From ghost, worms in your eyes to your brain thinking it's been poisoned on a bus, these glitches prove that while our bodies are amazing, they are also a little bit buggy. Most of these sensations are harmless reminders of our evolutionary history and the complex wiring that keeps us going. Which of these body bugs do you experience the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep your human hardware updated.